Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Relyks, and today we're going to go over an Advance Wars match that had me kind of on the edge of my seat. At the same time, it was a pretty good match. Both me and my opponent felt like we were both getting lucky at some points and playing really well. Overall, it was a fun match, and it turned out to be a very interesting one that I felt like I wanted to share. Obviously, again, if you guys seen my other videos or if you guys are new to the channel, this isn't exactly like the most professional match, so don't criticize or anything. Don't insult me just because we either both make mistakes, or something like that. It's just for fun kicks game, just for you guys to get a little entertainment and maybe even learn something about the map too. So the map we are playing on is called Corrosive Finale. So an interesting one, an interesting map for sure. This will be the first time, yes, I believe it's my first time playing on this map. Overall, it's another one of those maps that are straight up divided diagonally. You guys can see the difference in the terrain. See how in the middle there's a mountain range surrounding one city, so obviously that one city is going to be one of those properties that will be contested. In the bottom left corner we can see there's one city next to two silo platforms. That's another city that is divided between the two of us, as well as the other cities near our HQs and the top right. So a lot of contention going to take place during this match, and you guys will see that some of these cities will actually trade ownership. So as for the matchup, I'm Rachel. She is without a doubt one of my favorite commanding officers outside of Kanbei, who is first, which I don't get to use him very often because he is the top tier. Rachel would be my next favorite commanding officer. I am also going against a Kindle. By the way, this guy's name is American Foreign Policy. In case you guys need to know. I don't know, I'll probably just nickname him or just call them the Kindle player. But overall, not a bad player whatsoever. They're using Kindle, who is, in my opinion, one of the tougher opponents. Just FYI, this match was started just before the site changed Kindle from the second bottom tier to the third tier. I don't know, I don't remember the names of the tiers, but she got moved up a tier, and is now considered a stronger commanding officer than what I'm using, Rachel. So that happened during this match. So at this time, in a matter of speaking, that means I'm at a disadvantage. However, being Rachel, she gets extra repairs as her day-to-day bonuses, and Kindle, using her power won't affect me as much just because I can repair it. However, those repairs can take a toll. So we'll see how this match goes. As a Rachel, as me, someone who likes Rachel, I'm used to doing those extra repairs in general. So being prepared for those powers, Kindle powers, is not unusual. So let's get started. So obviously, first player starts off building infantry. No surprise there. Of course, I move my infantry to move for the next extra base, as do they. So, pretty much the first couple turns is just going to be the same old capture phase, going for the chain captures if possible as well. Except for me, I do not believe I will go for these right away. I do want to get to the center as soon as possible. So, not to mention, I do believe this base here, same thing for them. These two bases will most likely build infantry and then cross the river to get this one. Not saying that's exactly what will happen between the two of us, but it is kind of one of those captures where you can just chain capture all the way down, while this base and this base continue to pump out infantry that move towards the center. So, continuing on, typical builds here and there. This infantry actually went down here and went to this city. I do believe I go for this city. I'm not entirely sure. Hold on. I could go for the middle, I believe, huh? Yeah, I did. Okay. For some reason, I felt like I went for the HQ one first for some reason, but My memory was a little foggy on this match just because it was played a while ago, and then I didn't have time to record this. So do bear with me if I make any mistakes. In any case, they go for their comm tower on this turn. Foriergn captures here, so this city and this port as well. Whereas I'm actually going for the port, not my comm tower. During the capture phase, in my opinion, it is more important to get the properties, even if it's just one property, faster. That way you can get a couple extra thousand funds faster than your opponent. That couple extra thousand could mean the difference between, you know, building an infantry and having a base skip, or for in my case, making repairs, the extra repairs that I will have to do later on, things like that. So continue the capturing game, you know, kind of moving in the same pace everywhere. So I forego this capture here, and I want to go for this port here. If I could get this port, I can start on the city as well. Kind of an interesting move by me. I would have actually looked backing on it. I would have actually captured the city. I want to get the funds as soon as possible. So I build the first tank. Kind of unusual. Usually I'm not one to build the first vehicle, especially as the second player. I usually like to counterattack. However, I built this tank knowing that this infantry can no longer capture this city. And if he wants to attack my infantry, feel free to do so. I will end up killing it. So I'm already guarding a city automatically, and they will be forced to build their tank here. They can build 2 tanks though, so it's not like, you know, I threatened them 100%. This infantry now moves to the center, and in doing so, they can actually go for the middle city if they want to. Which I do think that's what they end up doing in the end. So because I built the first tank, obviously they're going to respawn because they need to defend this guy. So they built their own tank, and of course they built another one down here, in which case I can't even defend it. I can't even defend my own city, because if I have to count it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I won't even be able to reach it. So I got the city. That's the first thing. So I don't even need to be there anymore, but I can't stay and defend it anyways. So I finally go for the capture across the river here on the right side. I also go for this capture here in the middle. Nothing can stop me from getting that city now, so pretty good. I even go for this middle city. This is one of the cities I mentioned that we are going to be contesting for, and I figure crossing this one over here, I'm going to ignore this city because this one's closer to my side, so it will be easier to obtain later, and instead I go for this city where I could get it for free. So that's the advantage as me as second player. Having the extra infantry that was on this side of the map, I can use him to cross over and get this city faster. That's one reason why I like to be second players, because they get that extra infantry. It makes a huge difference on some maps, and in this case I was able to get it. Now, as far as this guy is concerned, not sure if that was the smartest move, but it does prevent them from getting the capture off first. So that guy's probably going to die. So end of my turn, I'm going for my port. They're going to probably do the exact same thing. This city remains uncontested for now, but overall, you know, now we got even tanks. I got one ready in the middle. That's not really going to do too much though, because there's so many roads, open terrain. There's like no forest, no mountains. So this tank is probably going to follow up here. Probably sit on this woods here, I think. They can go anywhere they want. Same thing for me. I can do the same thing. We're not probably going to engage just yet. So like I saw, this guy went to the middle. So while I'm getting this one, and I forced this infantry away from this city from going over here, now they get the middle city in the mountains, and there's nothing I can do about it. So while I got one city in one contested area, they got the other one. So the north tank moves towards the HQs. He is now blocking out a lot of the properties, but I'm not too concerned about that. You know, as long as, you know, nothing's really happening. Infantry takes the shot. So the first engagement here, not bad. They stopped my capture. Obviously, I shouldn't go after them for the most part. So on my turn, go for my extra captures. Continue to do this capture as well. So again, I got the city now. Nothing can stop it from capturing. So it's a really easy win for me that I got this area, whereas they also got the mountain area, which is harder to get infantry in there because they have to traverse the mountains. So top left, I got my positioning over here. Bottom right, they have their positioning over there. So that's kind of the way it goes. I mean, it is the strong side with 2 bases and an airport. I move my tank onto the port to defend this whole area here. You guys can see the range is pretty vast. And there only one tank can actually move in. Actually, you can't even get through because you can't one-shot infantry. So I'm covering a lot of ground. Because I know my infantry is probably going to die, I end up taking a shot at this guy from the woods. I probably should have just stayed on the city. I don't know why I did that. But it prevents this infantry from being able to capture in a few turns, and instead now 4 turns. So that infantry is kind of useless now. I also move my tank on this missile silo to get extra defense and build a couple, another tank and a couple more infantry. They go for the 2 neutral cities. So you guys can see here, they forewent their port, which is quite interesting actually now that I think about it. And instead they wanted the city. Now if we damage calculate, because Kindle gets extra attack on cities, oops. So if I attack them, I'll do 4 damage, but they will still probably do 3 damage in retaliation damage to me. And then if that's being the case, let's just say they do 3 damage, so I'll be a 7 and they'll be a 6. If we swap it, they get the urban bonus, so they'll be doing 3 damage to me, which will most likely do an extra 4 maybe, but we'll do 3 anyways. So now I'll become a 4. Oh, actually I didn't see the damage right. 4, so I'll do 2 damage in retaliation, so we'll be 4-4. It's pretty much an even fight. So it's kind of an interesting gimmick, having Kindle have control of a city and me attacking from a mountain. But because the bases are so close, providing infantry support, I think this was a huge mistake for the Kindle player. They should have just captured their port, and that alone is going to give me the capture lead. As you guys can see, on their turn, I do have a capture lead. But obviously with a few more captures here and there. Okay, so in the middle, they destroyed my infantry and then moved their tank to attack, so they get first strike. Kind of an interesting move. I actually don't have a tank to back it up, but I don't mind as much. It's not like it was doing too much harm. No infantry can capture this one now. This is technically their property. I have mine, so I'm not too worried. I think I got my job done, as fair as possible. And they haven't even captured their 2 back cities as well. I've captured one of them, and I'm about to chain capture the other one. So kind of an advantage for me right now. And they even interrupt my capture here at the HQ. So they build more tank. So now we're kind of like starting to really engage. The capture game's kind of over, especially with my turn now rolling in. Yeah, so I'm starting the capture in the corner. Can't stop me. I can't stop them in their bottom right corner as well. So the captures are pretty much over with, and we're just going to be fighting over the remaining ones. Obviously, go for the engagement. 7-6, just like I thought. And, that's kind of an advantage for me. And in order to stop them, I use my infantry here as well. I didn't want to attack from a road. Probably would have made me a 5 in that case. But I think the 6-6 is actually really lucky. If we take a look at the damage calculator, I think that was a lucky engagement. 6 and 6. Oh, no. Never mind. Yeah, it was 6-6. So, on the next turn, though, this guy can kill me. This one can attack me and kill me as well. So, kind of losing it there. But this guy's going to come up and reinforce both sides. So, it really doesn't matter to me. So, that's the advantage I have here. Is because they're trying to go for this neutral city, I can keep pumping out infantry. And unless they build like a tank or something, they're never going to get it. So I moved my guy back. I destroyed this one infantry here. Don't know if that was the smartest idea. I do move my guy here as well. Unless he's able to kill this infantry, which we would have to forego this capture, he won't be able to use 2 tanks to kill my tank. And so I have an advantage there. With the extra healing power of this tank on a city, I can stay alive and not have to worry about them dying. And of course, I want to stop them from capturing cities and gaining, keeping up with the capture game. So I'm going to interrupt that capture as well. Build another tank, just like I thought. Build another tank here as well to cover this whole area. So we're kind of balanced out now. Nothing really special happening. This is now day 9. Again, their first player. So they fought back just like I thought. It ended up being a 4-4 engagement. This infantry comes around and kills me, as expected. Tank moves in, hits the infantry. Other infantry moves in, destroys me because they have the extra urban bonus. And now they have a huge presence in the middle, even though they don't have the city yet. So this infantry is now in prime position to capture that one. And this one is, kind of in range to capture that one, but I do believe I attack it. And they continue to attack my city here. So it is down to 4, but my infantry is now a 2, so I can't capture it successfully. They even attack my tank, so that's kind of a interesting play. As you guys can see, I survive. On my turn, I'm going to become a 6, and this guy's going to become a 9. So losing engagement for them, not to mention this tank is here as well. So I'm going to be able to fight back easily. They also built a battlecopter in the south, tank in the north. Continuing to ignore that one city there. Instead, that infantry goes to the right to help support. So now it's my turn. Co-power, charge is relatively the same. So again, they have the same power meters. It's just dependent on what power you want to use. Obviously, if you're a Kindle player, you want your regular co-power. And as for me, I want my super. So overall, pretty even-ish game right now. Let's see what I do. Get presence on the mountain, and I kill the infantry on the road. And I'm going to use 3 infantry to kill this guy. Oh, no, never mind. I got lucky with 2. I got 2 hits there. Tank moves over here to repair on this city. Infantry blocks, so the only way in now is this way. So you have to go around. They're probably, if anything, they would go on the missile silo. But again, I will be able to repair that if needed. This tank moves in, kills the tank. This other tank moves in, hits the other one. And again, I could build another tank out of this base, and it will cover both of them as well. Infantry moves over here, kills that one. This one's going to continue capturing, which only needs 2 more. As of right now, the only way to stop this capture is if they use their power. So we'll see if they do. I continue to fight this infantry on the mountain and city. So it needs 10 more captures, and now it's down to 1. So I've done my mission there. He no longer can capture that. I forego the city. I let them have it. There's nothing I can do. I get the free shot on the 10. This one's going to capture, but I have extra infantry to reinforce and kill both of them later. So that's why I let them have it. Tank moves on to the city for the extra defense. And again, I have tanks supporting each other. I build an anti-air to retaliate against the battlecopter, as expected. But it could just fly left. So that's one of the gimmicks about this map, is air units are pretty important. You guys can see the mountain ranges here specifically prevent vehicles from going through them. And so air units are very important, and that's going to play a huge part in this game. So I continue to build tanks. I can't let up the tank game here now that we've got tank chains going. And now this battlecopter is here as well, so that's kind of dangerous. But again, there's no city capturing going on yet. Probably this turn though. They attacked my tank here on the city, and then they use their power. So they got it with the tank engagement. Yes, they got it with the tank engagement, 7-6, and now I go from 58,900 down to 46,800. So not too bad. You stop this capture here, and you hit my tank so you can kill it, as well as some other units so they take HP damage, including the one I went on the city to repair. So kind of devastating in matter of speaking, just because now I'm a little bit weaker than I was a while ago, and that's not going to be good. So they finished off the tank. I don't know why they went on the shoal, considering that they could have put themselves on the plain right there. And that would provide extra defense, because now they're on the shoal with no defense. Quite interesting. And they cover my city, as expected. Bottom right corner, just defensive. Extra hit right there, kills my 7 infantry again. My goodness, the power of Kindle infantry. Builds a recon on the bottom, so this recon can go either up and support this middle here, because I got a lot of infantry, or go left, and I got no tank presence. The only one that would be available would be this guy. By the way, I base skipped right here. Last turn. So all the infantry goes for the capture. This guy goes and attacks my mountain guy. Kills him. Was that luck roll right there? I think it was. No, I guess it was a for sure kill. Just didn't seem like it should have been, but it was. But like I said, I did my job. It can't capture for another 9 turns after this, so. And then another kill there. Is that one right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, just having the power bonus just gives them too much extra firepower. They killed all of my infantry and they got the city. So now you got 4 infantry here doing all kinds of work, and I only got 1 guy. So, kind of interesting. Yeah. So after that turn, it's now my turn on day 10. They have about 4,000, value lead over me, and 4 unit lead. But again, I'm the second player, so I get to retaliate on this turn, and I still have the 1,000 extra capture lead. So move my tank, go for the kill. I want to keep the unit count down as much as possible. Go on my city. Again, I don't know why they put this one on the shoal. They should have put it on the plain. That way, I wouldn't even be able to go on the city in the first place. So, kind of an interesting decision. My tanks move to get healed as well. This battlecopter is actually in range of this guy. I do believe I build an anti-air this turn, though. And I form a wall with my infantry, so their infantry can't attack into me. So my strong infantry attacks the strong infantry here, so they can't do any captures straight up. Probably the best decision for that part. And I continue to build the infantry. I do build the anti-air to counterattack. If that battlecopter does attack here, I can retaliate. And the only thing I can do really now is build infantry. So not the best turn. I do leave myself vulnerable a little bit right here, but we'll see what happens. So infantry comes in, attacks my new one, and gets a nice extra bonus there. I survive though, and every time I survive, it's actually a bonus. And so they've evened up the capture game with this one. So now we're even. Battlecopter comes in, hits my tank, kills my tank. Oh, did not kill my tank rather, and then the other one hits my other tank. But of course, I don't have enough units to break through, I don't think. So kind of a tricky situation here. My anti-air can't reach the battlecopter at this time. Not to mention there's an artillery now that's protecting them, and I have no ground units here like tanks to support and attack that artillery. And just like I thought, the recon does go left here into the mountains, and again, I have no tank presence, so I can't send infantry in there without them getting killed. And he does stop the capture, which was literally one capture, 1 turn away. So unfortunately, I failed to get that city again. Again, this is one of the closest ones to the base, and yet I still don't have it because I went to go and capture elsewhere. So kind of a, maybe a mistake on my part, but at the same time, we are still even because I do have this city here, and they don't have their port yet. So, decisions throughout this match are going to be questionable, but at the same time, we're even, so it's not like it's horrible. So I'm really close to my super now, and I figure, is this the moment I need to try and get it? Maybe. We'll see. As you guys can see, huge presence for me here. Nothing's happening though, right? All their units are here. Overall, I'm not really satisfied of my positioning just because I don't have the units to counterattack these guys necessarily, but that's where my power may be coming in. Tank attacks the tank on the city, and I use my infantry to try and kill it. I do successfully, and I get through and kill the battlecopter. So let's take a look at that again. 5-4. I believe that's for sure knocked down. So it was a knockdown and then the infantry kill. So I saw that and I figured luck roll it with the 7, not use a 10, right? If I had to, I would have to use an extra 10, but I figure take the chance, use the 7 first, and I did. And I got through. I killed the Battlecopter, giving me my super. And I do indeed use it. So just take a look at the map real quick. They have 50,000, rounded down. They go down to 39,000 value. So about 11,000 damage. So 1 hit here, the infantry 1 most likely hit here, and then 2 missiles hit right here. Right here. And so, these guys are all now hits, and you guys can see now that even though I have no tank presence, my base is right here. I can just start building more tanks to ward off this guy. So now, all of a sudden, I have a huge advantage, and that's one of the things I love about Rachel's super is I can control in location with, the click of a button. And that's kind of what I just did here. So I go for the attack here. Honestly, come on. This guy got hit. I got hit. This should have been a kill in my regard, considering I'm attacking and he has no defense. And yet somehow I ended up losing. A little disappointed in that. Finished him off. Now all of a sudden we have, weak infantry, but full powered infantry as well. They need to capture this port. As of right now, this turn, there is nothing I can do to stop them. So on their turn, they need to capture that port. Infantry moves in and attacks artillery, doing 2 damage. My other tanks are moving in as well. I outnumber them in the tank department. Make sure the tank dies so they can't repair it or regroup. I even go for the attack here, getting nice hits, preventing the infantry from going for a capture. My tank is going down. That has been repairing this whole time to face the recon. So now this recon's useless. It either has to retreat and go around the mountain, which would be a waste of time, and or face my tank head on. And that's one of the reasons why, me personally, I don't build recons in non-Fog of War matches, just because it's easy to get countered. Unless the recon's built early and can do something early on, they're kind of useless unless you're a commanding officer who has extra luck damage like Nell. Recons just don't have the ability to fight and therefore are kind of useless builds. I even go for the attack on the mountain to try and minimize the damage they would do against my infantry capturing. But of course, alas, they have their co-power again, so that's something that can prevent me from capturing. With all the tanks gone and this one out of position, my anti-air is free to move into the center and cover a lot of areas. It could go up or down or even come backwards if I need to. And even though they outnumber in the top, again, you only need so many infantry to defend the top corner just because the mountain's kind of in the way. So that was a pretty successful turn. At the start of day 12, I have a 3-unit lead. The capture game is even, but the values are completely flipped. I mean, I almost doubled my opponent now. So that's pretty good. That was a pretty successful covering fire. Tank attacks artillery attacks my tank, doing 2 damage. New tank comes in, again, attacking my tank. I don't know if that was the brightest idea, because as you guys can see, I'm not dead. My tanks aren't exactly dying. Finished off my 1. Going for the port capture, so again, that's the right play. There's nothing I can do to stop them. And they continue to move their units around. Tank gets a juicy hit on my guy, so no defenses there. And then they use their power again, so I go from 61 to 54, so about 7,000 damage dealt to me. Again, all my tanks got hit here that I just built, as well as the infantry, and they stopped the capture in the bottom south here. So kind of expected, as I use my super, they should get their power. Recon does retreat. They can't take on my tank. So the problem with this is now I'm wasting a tank having to go up and down between this mountain range, whereas the recon, as of right now, it's in range of my infantry, and there's nothing I can really do about that. So this tank has to I have to make a decision and send it down even more and make them have to build a tank here to defend here, or I gotta play cat and mouse and I gotta go around the mountain range to the north. So it's kind of a tricky situation, but because of the way this game has gone, it doesn't really matter too much to me right now because I have the extra advantage. So this tank moves down right into the middle. Covers a lot of ground. Smart move. They build a medium tank and a battlecopter. I didn't realize that they had so much funds, generated. Not to mention, I've been repairing almost every single turn. So I haven't been able to utilize my 20,000 funds every single day. Whereas they did, actually. They have 26,000 now, so why not? They build a medium tank and a battlecopter. The only thing I can take out is the battlecopter with my anti-air, but I have no units. Absolutely zero healthy units that can actually take on that medium tank. So that is a pretty smart build in my opinion. Unfortunately, the bad part is they leave 2 bases empty this turn. So maybe instead of building the battlecopter, probably should have built like a tank and an infantry in the north. Probably wasn't the best decision to base skip twice. Not just once. Twice in the same turn. Especially for this corner where, there's a huge contention for the cities. So, my turn rolls in now. You guys can see on my turn as the second player, unit count is equal, value is somewhat equal, but it's my turn and I have the option to destroy a few things as well. So technically I am at this current time winning this game. They're capturing my comm tower, so that hurt right there. But I have to prevent them from capturing it, so I had to go in with both infantry, and that really sucks. I killed their artillery, kind of expected. I continue the capture here. The only way for them to stop me is to use their recon, but I do believe I cover. No, I retreat. So yeah, the only way to kill me is to use their recon, in which I move my tank back to the north. I figure the recon, if I want the recon to go somewhere, I'd rather see it go down south, not into the middle where it can attack my infantry. So now that this is all clear, they're capturing this port. They have to capture it this turn. So I kind of won this area here, considering they base skipped. So that's a huge disadvantage for them. And I go for the finish on the tank. My anti-air is not afraid to take a hit. Again, I have 2 anti-air, so I don't mind if I lose it to the medium tank. I have to make sure these tanks stay dead. So, as you guys can see, I do finish off the tanks as much as I can, and I retreat. I do need to save up money, though, this turn, so I do decide to build only infantry, having saved up 10,500 funds, and I'm getting 20,000 next turn. So that leaves me a lot of room to not only build a super unit that will allow me to counter that medium tank, but I can also consider building something else next turn as well, and or not base skipping, because having a lot of infantry in the way after infantry first creates a wall, and then the super unit could come in and cover that infantry after, especially in close proximity like this. So we'll see if that was the right decision. Their turn now. As you guys can see on their turn on turn 13, huge disadvantage for them right now with unit count 19 to 29. So let's see what they do. Tank moves in. Did not finish off my tank. That was a lucky break, considering that Kindle gets the extra urban bonus. Stops my capture of the neutral city. Kind of expected that. I rather have them stop this one than this one, which I do end up getting. So that's golden for me. If I was them, I would have used the recon to attack the city guy, because it can reach. It can clearly reach, and there's nothing I could use except for my anti-air to stop it, or to attack it, in which, they're both in range, but come on. You stopped a capture. That city's now mine. You should have probably stopped it and used something else to stop this one. But unfortunately, they did not. So, an interesting decision. Medium tank moves in, kills my 9 anti-air. Honestly, oh yeah, that's the only thing they could have done. Yes, so good decision. Battlecopter is in range of my anti-air still, but I believe they might try to cover it with an infantry. Yes, they do. So all of a sudden, my forces are dwindling a little bit here. All the while, again, defensive positioning in the top left, nothing those infantry can do. Unless they get their power and I'm on the city, absolutely nothing they can do. And just in case, I do believe I will probably send one of the infantry up to help supports. But they also built a mech this turn in the top base here. Interesting build. There is a lot of terrain to utilize the defense, so my tank can't attack it. But most of the engagements is going to be infantry on infantry, so I don't know if that was the smartest build. Not to mention, I can actually get a free shot on that guy on the port. So, don't know what they're thinking there. Which I do start off my turn with. So, free shot, infantry moves up onto the mountain, so now I can go for that city if I want to. Infantry moves, unsuccessfully kills the tank, so I use the tank to finish it off. And I have to cover it to make sure they can't capture it. Nothing I can do about this medium tank, so I gotta retreat. I have to retreat no matter what this turn. I gotta support this guy, so I sacrifice infantry so he can't capture the comm tower right away. And then I move the other ones back. Build a Neo tank this turn. As you guys can see, it covers a lot of ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so yeah, I can't reach the city though. That's the only downfall here. But overall, I need this guy. Neo tanks are my favorite unit, so I know how to utilize them really well. And this situation definitely called for it. So I have 8,000 funds left. Not too much to deal with, elsewhere. But as you guys can see, I even take the engagement there. Kind of interesting. I don't know if that was even the smartest play, but I think I was just trying to make sure they can't successfully kill my battlecopter in one shot. Because I need this guy to defend against the battlecopter. So I probably tried to do as much damage as I could. I don't know if that was the best decision, but it's what I went with. And then not to mention, now this guy can't go and attack the tank on the left unless he wants an 8 versus a 10, even if they have the city bonus. So I'm starting to threaten their properties over there. I even move my infantry around to help, get extra defensive terrain. I know they're not going to get their power this turn, so I don't need to be afraid of them necessarily. And bottom left, infantry are starting to move out. The recon moves away, so there's nothing that can stop me from capturing the cities here. I outnumber them as of this turn. Alright, so start of turn 14. I'm still winning in all categories. And again, they're getting their power soon, but I'm also going towards my super. Let's see what they do. Tank destroys my 6 tank. My goodness, was that guaranteed? I think it was. That's incredible fire. Yeah, that is the incredible firepower of a Kindle tank on a city. That is insane. Normally, I don't think that would have been possible. So, killed me there. Moving around, infantry stops the capture in the bottom left, and they send a couple more infantry to support. They even go for the attack on the mountain in the top left. They even go for the kill, which, again, now these two are damaged, so they can't capture, and the strongest one is left on a road, which I can attack from a city. Kind of a bad decision. Infantry moves in, kills my other guy. Medium tank, wasted attack on a 5 infantry, but I can't attack the medium tank this turn, so that was kind of the only move that it could do anyways. So all of a sudden, my whole presence here is kind of dead or dying. Not much I can do here. So, a little disappointed in my survivability right here. They get a free shot on my infantry here and killing me. So, as you guys can see, there's no anti-air here. This battlecopter gets to have fun for maybe one more turn. Because if I build an anti-air here, it can't get past here to, protect my infantry. So, kind of a huge mistake. And like I mentioned before, this mountain range prevents me from, going across and destroying this battlecopter. So, if I send the anti-air through the middle here, battlecopter flies over and kills these guys. Kind of a interesting situation I'm in. And they build another recon to send probably to the south as well. So, all of a sudden, things aren't looking good for me. The only benefit right now is I actually have 25,000. I could, dictate some strong builds here. And they're even going for my comm tower, in which the only unit that can stop it right now is my Neo tank. So, kind of an interesting situation that I'm in. I want to continue to get this city though, so I do go for the hit here, and I even regroup in case they use their power to try and stop me. So I get the city no matter what. Yay. But was it worth it? I'm not sure. Infantry retreat, because that's all I can do, even if I build an anti-air here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the closest I can get. Both of these guys are in range of the battlecopter for free. My guy goes onto the neutral city in the top right. That is my city, unless they use their power. Awesome. So that's all I need here. Technically won that area. Neo tank, like I said, the only thing I can do is attack this comm tower dude. So free kill, great. Nothing else I can do. I have to just play defense now. So all my units are damaged. I even move my anti-air back. If he wants to use his tank to attack it, feel free to do so. I'm most likely going to build a tank, which I do. It's a medium tank this turn. I can't reach his, but he can't reach mine as well. Can I be even trade? And obviously I have to build an anti-air on the left side, so I can't do anything else other than probably build 2 infantry this turn and 1 anti-air. But I do threaten their properties here. The only one to attack this one is a tank. But again, because I have to build an anti-air here, I won't be able to do a tank chain and attack with a tank every single turn here. So this is probably a stupid attack right here. It's just kind of forcing him to do it. Unfortunately, it's not smart. It was just I'm just throwing that infantry away. So that's the end of the turn. Their turn rolls in. Recon goes down. Infantry attacks me. And again, I got the city. So those guys are all dead anyways. Look, tank gets a nice hit on my infantry. I can't even do anything about that. So both these guys and these guys are dead. That's 4, technically 5 because I regrouped 1. That's 5 infantry that are just straight up dead. And the only thing I accomplished with them was, you know, getting a city. So not great. So again, they're just going for the capture. They're even trying to capture my top left. Overall, it's not looking too good. Medium tank moves over here, so now I can't even attack these tanks with the first shot because of the medium tank. However, they let me have their port. I don't know why. The only way to stop me would be their power, which they cannot get this turn. So, very questionable move. I mean, if you look at what happened, they used their new city, or new base, to build that tank. That was the only unit that could have attacked here, and they used it to attack and move. You know, or not even attack. They just moved it down right here. This tank did nothing this turn except back this guy up, which they could have did this turn with the medium tank anyways. So this guy covers this dude who just went over here, and then this one could have went over here. So that was a huge mistake on their part. They didn't utilize the tanks very well. So I get a free port. I do not know the idea behind that. They built 4 infantry and a bomber. A bomber! That's a great way to counter my Neo tank. Again, the terrain here, the ocean here, prevents me from going around the terrain very easily. So my Neo tank's kind of a huge disadvantage now. So all of a sudden, things aren't looking so good because I made some mistakes. Get the city in the top right. I get their port. So all of a sudden, now I have 23. Oh, wait, one more. I got one more in the bottom. So technically, I will have a 24 once I capture this bottom city. A 24 to 19,000 lead. My infantry in the top are outnumbering theirs, so I don't need to worry about them killing or capturing. I go for the kills as much as I can. I realize I have to retreat, prevent the capture here as well, sacrificing 1 tank. But this medium tank cannot reach me, so perfect positioning. The bomber also cannot reach me as well. And my anti-air to ward off that bomber for now. So yeah, things are looking okay positionally. Again, bomber can't reach, just out of range. But again, I've lost all my units in this area. So if they can get some infantry going, they can start capturing my properties. So because of that, I also build my own battlecopter. A, battlecopter can attack the battlecopter here, even if they go across the mountains. B, Battlecopters against medium tanks aren't too bad either, so pretty decent build by me. And I also built infantry, saving up 5,700, not just for repairs, but I could save it for another super unit. So turn 16 now. Let's see what they do. Recon. Okay, so they use their infantry to finish off my bottom guys. Nothing left there. They can start capturing for free. And there's nothing I can do. So tank here gets a nice shot. And they finish me off as well. Probably should have attacked my port guy. I can't repair, and it's your turn. You should attack me first, because now I can still attack the guy if I want to, and do damage to him. So bomber moves towards the center here to just reinforce so much area. Look at that range. That's incredible. Medium tank over here. So he does attack and weaken my guy, so I can't even do anything about this. The only thing I can do is move this tank. But again, I would be suiciding it. So I'm starting to slip up a little bit here. Only benefit is they don't have too many infantry to capture my properties. They are all available. I mean, look how many properties I have here that cannot be defended. That's crazy. So, in a way, I strategically did it because they don't have infantry to capture. So I'm still earning the funds while I did lose my armies. But at the same time, I've lost so much. I mean, I lost so many infantry almost for no reason, but at the same time, it kind of works out. So I built an anti-air here to ward off this battlecopter. But again, this battlecopter to me was built to go down and defend over here, not so much as to go to the middle. Tank moves in, protects my city, and boom, all of a sudden, that's covered. I don't need to worry about it. Battlecopter does move in here to the middle. They can attack my battlecopter with their battlecopter if they want to, but I do go for the attack, hoping to kill the recon, and I do. So now my anti-air is covering. If they want to use their battlecopter, they can. Neo tank moves in and attacks the artillery. Oh no, attacks the infantry. The only thing that can stop it right now is the bomber. So I'd be trading my Neo tank, which by the way, it will be a 100% kill even without the city, for my Neo tank. That's I don't know if that was the smartest decision, but I do kill the artillery with my medium tank as well, and I move in with more guys. Top right's covered with my infantry. I build an extra anti-air because one anti-air is not enough to kill a bomber, so I need the extra guy. And I attack here to stop him from capturing in 2 turns. Scorch earth as much as I can. Medium tank to counter their medium tank as well. So even if they want to attack my battlecopter, feel free to do so. I have it covered. So overall, you guys can see here, it's kind of even-ish in a matter of speaking, but I still have the advantage. They really need to push for those cities and get the captures going. But I am coming close to my super. They attack my infantry on the port, move an artillery into position, so now it's covering a lot of areas, and I don't have much to deal with it actually. And they even have mechs there. Mechs are very dangerous. I need to attack it with infantry first, so that's also not good. And they use their urban blight to deal damage, again stopping this capture. Again, I still don't have the city next to my HQ, which is literally 2 turns away from my base. That's insane. They also do damage to like the medium tank, the anti-air, so I'm going to lose some funds this coming turn. Bomber didn't need to go on the city, but one-shots my Neo tank anyways. I don't think that was the smartest decision, because now it puts it in close proximity to my anti-air. In fact, this one can attack it as well. I think the reason behind that is to get the extra urban bonus on the retaliation, but still not probably the smartest decision. So again, I have nothing to stop them. Infantry are starting to move in closer. Medium tank now, another one here. So even if I destroy this bomber, this medium tank can attack and destroy my anti-air. And the other medium tank's moving over here as well. So I only have a medium tank to counter either one. Things are looking very grim. So my turn rolls in, day 17. I have my super ready. And I'm taking a look at the map, and I'm just like, even if I use it, it's going to shoot here and here, twice here. But it's not going to hit the medium tank. It's not going to hit the bomber. It's not going to hit these guys. So I'm like, what do I do? I decided to just leave it for now. Battlecopter moves down to defend these areas against that recon. Protect my tank in the north, top left as well. Go for the attack on the port dude. Again, the artillery can only fire on so many people. I use my tank to hit it as well, leaving myself in range of a mech though. But I have the extra defense. These are shoals and rivers, so retaliation from my tank would, substantially damage their mech. I do go for the bomber kill. It's kind of required. I mean, I have to kill it, right? It killed my Neil tank, so using 2 anti-air is not going to be bad to kill it. And I just basically retreat my medium tank. There's nothing else I can do. So I have to play a little bit of defense here. And this medium tank can't attack my left one, so I'm safe here. This thing's going to get captured in 2 turns, so I gotta watch out for that. So I do save my super this turn. And as you guys can see, I didn't have much money to, build too many things. I built a tank and an anti-air and 2 infantry. I'm still leading for sure. The extra captures, is going a long way. But, they have pretty good units out. But the super is still waiting, and this is where it's going to come in handy for sure. And that's the advantage as a Rachel player with their super. You get to dictate when you get to use it, and your opponent has to play on edge the entire time. At this time, my opponent had messaged me that I'm starting to make a lot of smart moves, and holding on to my power was one of those moves that I decided to make. So, like I said, the retaliation damage was pretty good. My infantry can actually probably kill it now. Medium tank goes under the city, so I can't actually kill it with my medium tank. So all of a sudden now you see there's a huge difference in where the missiles will suddenly fire. The units had moved around. Different things are happening. They're going for one city as well. So at long last, I finally got the city next to my HQ. So that's something. But I'm not finished yet. So right now, the missiles kind of shoot in this area here. I don't want it to shoot with this infantry there. So I go for an attack here, damaging it, and then I use the super. So one hit here, and one hit here in the middle, and then one hit the infantry over here. So I successfully damaged these infantry, so they cannot capture my cities in 2 turns. Not to mention I interrupted one of them, and my new guys are coming in to help defend. So pretty good missiles, I would say so. And this medium tank got hit and it can't repair. So all of a sudden, my medium tank now rules this location. So tank kills the mech, infantry attacks the forest, infantry attacks the mech here. So now all of a sudden the mechs are gone. So that's pretty good. Battlecopter moves in. The only thing that can attack is actually not even a battlecopter. Poof. Probably a huge mistake on their part. There was no infantry covering this guy, so I got a free shot on the battlecopter, and to me that's pretty much the decision right there. Not much else they can do about that. All of a sudden they can't even capture my cities. Everything's pretty much going my way. Nothing they can do. I'm even getting the city in the middle. Even if they attack with this 2, they won't stop me. So I'm going to have a 25 to 20,000 capture lead. So medium tank retreats onto the lab, building artillery to protect it, and a couple more guys. So at this point you can see there's not much they can do. I have a 40,000-ish lead, 7th unit lead. Territory wise, I'm winning. I have the capture lead. So yeah, it's just looking bad for them. So they go for some kills. Again, they slipped up this right here. I can just move right onto the city and kill them, or rather get the first shot on the medium tank. Yeah, this is pretty much GG. And I don't need to push too hard in this north now that I have the city in the corner. Bottom here, tank has free reign. Didn't build anything to defend against me. There, like I said, medium tank gets a free shot there. Medium tank gets a free shot on the anti-air. Kills mech, kills artillery. I'm starting even to capture the city. The only way to stop me is to use a tank, which they can't even escape, so that doesn't matter. I use my tanks to finish off this medium tank as much as I can, blocking this dude from going through as well. And yeah, as you guys can see, this is GG for sure. Anti-air can't even attack my battlecopter. I got another free shot. All of a sudden, I just completely destroyed this location, and that's pretty much it. They will finish their turn here with a few things. Use their power as well. Again, not too much damage was dealt. And just going to attack, going to do some damage, and then they quit on day 20. So pretty good match overall. You guys can see though that it was slowly going my way. Again, one of the benefits about Rachel is the repairs. If you know how to utilize the repairs efficiently, it's just overwhelming, especially if you're defending a location. I mean, most commanding officers will be able to attack with 2 tanks and either kill the tank or damage that tank so it's out of commission and you can't fight back. Well, with Rachel's day-to-day abilities, that tank can survive, retreat onto another city that I own, get repaired up on that next turn, and then come right back into the fight. That kind of makes a huge difference in territory. Like, I can keep a location much easier than other people can. Hence the reason why these cities here never really fell into enemy hands, because I didn't have to worry about my units dying necessarily. And by the time that they did kill my units off, especially the infantry, they didn't have any infantry to fight back with. And then when they did, right here, I used my super and took them out with 1 missile. So overall, in my opinion, Rachel is one of those commanding officers that can counter Kindle. Not 100% of the time, but very effectively. If the Rachel player knows how to utilize their repairs efficiently. But overall, it was a very fun match. And give credit to this guy. We were both playing pretty smart, moves here throughout. Again, we're not exactly professionals, but it was still a very strategic match. I think it came down to who's going to slip up first. And I think they definitely slipped up as far as where they were going with some of their units. Little mistakes here and there make the difference in this match. But no, I don't think either player really made one big mistake. It was just kind of mistakes throughout, little ones here and there that changed the game. But until this last couple turns, obviously I killed this medium tank, anti-air kill, this battlecopter can't be attacked. That's when things started to fall apart for them for sure. But overall, I think both of us played a really strong game, and it was really fun. But overall, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite map, but it was definitely an interesting one. I wish we got to fight on a little bit longer. Obviously, we can see that I was probably going to win it regardless, but you never know. I could slip up too. Overall, it was fun. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like button. Comment down below what you guys thought. Obviously, like I said, don't criticize us too hard. We're not exactly professional players. It's just a fun, entertaining match for you guys to see. And maybe you guys learn a thing or two about this map. Like I said, air units are kind of huge, especially for this bottom left corner. So if you guys decide to play this match or end up playing this match at some point, be sure to utilize battlecopters. I don't think we utilize battlecopters enough. I mean, even this middle mountain range here, battlecopter can go from this corner, just fly right through it and be on the other side, and the anti-air will have to chase you, So battlecopters are huge, and I think both of us did not utilize that aspect enough. So if you guys play this map, I think battlecopters for sure is one of those builds that you guys should consider more than tanks. But that's just my opinion. Again, it's just one match. But if I get to play this again, I actually will be excited to play it again just to see if my theory is right. Battlecopters are important. If not, then, well, can't wait for the next one. But for now, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel to keep up with more Advanced Wars content as well as other things. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.